Back to the JP podcast. Yes, I'm JP. I'm the host of this podcast right now. What we talk about is gym, golf, lifestyle, anything that comes with it. But today, before we even get started with this episode, if you're in Arizona right now, I don't know what it is, but there is something going around. Like I don't, it's I didn't feel sick, but it's throats scratchy, dry, nose is just sniffly and all that. But I don't feel sick though. But it's like it's been going around. Like it's whatever. There's like a flu A, flu B, whatever, or like there's some kind of like something that's coming around and everyone's getting it. So if you live in Arizona, be safe and take your immunity shots and all that. But so if you are sick, just please stay home. It's gonna suck. We all work, obviously. We all have jobs, but that's what sick time's for. Because we don't want to spread to other people. Because if we spread to more people, the more people get it, the more people are out, and we don't want that. No one wants that. And please don't be that guy who goes to the gym, coughing on every machine, not wiping down the machines, and touching every dumbbell like it's some sort of team sport. Like, come on, let's not do that. Just rest, hydrate, and just recover. That's all you can do. That's what I did, and we'll all be better off if you do that. Because that's what I did. And it's literally just, I felt something, and then I just literally grabbed sweats, a jacket, a beanie, socks, thermal socks to be specific, and, just sweated whatever had to be out. And just stayed in my bed for 2 days straight, and, ate some chicken noodle soup, some comforting soups and all that. And, got back at it, and, I felt better. I just didn't want to give it to my clients because it would just suck, getting more people sick than they don't need to be sick. It's like not. You're better off just staying home. But today's there's no big energy today, nothing like that. No crazy intro. Obviously, it's just let's get after it. Let's get right into it, and it's just gonna be just one of those episodes where I'm just gonna just talk and just hopefully something can relate. If it can, it's cool. If not, sick as well. But what I've noticed lately, I've been quieter on my social medias, and not in a bad way. I would say it's more just more intentional with my energy I put out. Like it's made me realize something, and that is I've stopped explaining my lifestyle. On my social media platforms, on to people that don't really like know me or don't really care for me. They, like it's just it is what it is. Like they don't know like the lifestyle that I have that I've created for myself and it works for me. And some people are like confused about the things I do and they like they second guess my work or they judge my work of just why do you do all that? You're weird. You're like that's like have fun. You live once. Like don't be a party pooper and like all that. And I'm done explaining my lifestyle because my lifestyle works for me, and the ones that know me, they understand my lifestyle, and they are there to push me up and have me and help me succeed, and not bring me down. Because the ones that bring you down, they're not really there for you. They're just preying on your downfall, and then those people, they got some stuff to figure out. Sorry if you're one of those people, but come on. If you're really gonna judge someone else, focus on yourself first. But let's talk about it. I think everyone goes through this phase where you just feel like you need to explain everything. Like you need to explain like what you're doing, where you're going, or just a whole schedule organization of like this is what I'm doing, and I want everyone to know. Like it's those questions: why are you tired? Why are you busy? Why didn't you go out? Why aren't you at the gym as much? And why are you eating a certain way? And you're constantly giving disclaimers of like some things I say, no, I'm not depressed. I'm not mad. Nothing happened. Just the no statements of none of this is no. Like what you think is not what's happening, and it's just because you just live. You're living in the moment with the lifestyle that works best for you. But for some reason, that feels illegal. Like for some reason, like deep down, you have those thoughts of like, are they right? Like, am I like not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I used to do that all the time. Is I used to just explain my whole routine like I was on trial. Like I would explain why I was busy when someone asked why you're busy, and I would explain why I didn't go out when I didn't want to go out, or why you haven't been at the gym so much. I would explain because make up an excuse of, oh, I'm not feeling great, or not right now, injury, or not right now, other things, priorities that are taking ahead of it. And then the last was like eating a certain way. I'd explain, for example, bodybuilding competition, making sure my macros, my calories are all in check, having the same meal every day for 3 months, and explaining that this is what I have to have and this is what I need. And explaining everything. Like I'm not trying to starve myself for my diet and for my cut. No, I'm not trying to do that. It's just the things that had to work for the way that it had to plan out. You always you get that one time when someone invites you and you say no. Like we're not here to people please anymore. We're not here to say yes, 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 even though it's okay to say yes to some things, but and instead of just letting that be the end of the sentence, you add paragraphs. They ask if you want to hang out, you say no with XYZ of whatever it is, instead of just, be straight up. No, I can't tonight, or no, not tonight. Like, you don't need to explain yourself to people. Like, if they're homies, they understand, and, a little feedback, a little, like, of what's up is, like, it's okay, but, like, you don't need to be sending paragraphs of, no, I can't hang out because of this, this, and that. Like, well, I have the gym. Well, like something like, well, I have the gym tomorrow, and I didn't sleep well, and I'm trying to reset my schedule, and adding more to that instead of just saying, I have the gym tomorrow, and I didn't sleep well, but I'm just trying to reset my schedule, my sleep schedule, and you always get that why, and then why can't it just be, I'm staying in, just be enough, like I want to. I should go to the gym, but I didn't get good sleep. I didn't get good rest, recover, repair. So I'm just gonna stay in. And I realized I wasn't explaining. I realized I wasn't explaining for them. It was more of me explaining for myself to feel less guilty of if I make up or if I make a whole paragraph long or like 5 sentences. That's a paragraph. If I make a longer response, it's me not feeling as guilty of why I can't go, or why I can't do that thing, or why I can't go to the gym for any kind of reason. And it's something that I've noticed in the most recent years as I've been picking up that I tended to do that instead of keep it short, keep it broad, can't hang out, sorry, but next time. And if they have a problem with that, so be it. But like the ones that understand me, they understand like if I get sick, I'm gonna say, yo, I can't hang out, I'm sick. I don't want to get you guys sick. And they're not like, well, just come out. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to risk if I have anything to get like you guys sick. And like it just comes from a good place. And and then my family, my second family, they understand that. If I'm sick, they're sick, no hard feelings. It is what it is. We all go through it. And I'm not having a chip on my shoulder because I like thank you. You're looking out for me, and I'm looking out for you as well. Like it is what it is. The place where you easily see it is the gym. A lot of people say, are you still going? You don't get bored with what you do, or like, do you even take days off? And none of it, none of no, no. I don't want to like. It didn't come out like that. Tone was probably terrible, but like none of it comes from like being rude. It's not meant to be rude. It's just it always comes with the tone like you're doing too much. Like you need to like reel it back a little bit and enjoy life. And like I'm like I used to explain it. Now I don't because the question I always hear, but it's not them being rude. It's just them like not understanding what I do, what I'm capable of doing, what my routine is. But because for the gym, it's like it's not a phase for me. It's something that it's part of my lifestyle. It's part of my life. Like I've come so far from where I started as a 125-pound Asian kid to now a 175 Asian man who's built, who's put on, who's you know through time and time again, I've just been putting on more progression of, just putting on mass, putting on size, and, taking it one day at a time. Like, you get people who are just discouraged after like a month or two of like, they're not seeing progress. But I'm like, you look at yourself every day. Like, you don't think I have the same excuses or the same responses if I feel discouraged? I do. It's just part of how we are. We always look at ourselves because we always see ourselves through mirrors, through our phone, through whatever. But like people who haven't seen it in like in years or in like a couple months, and they see you, like they notice the changes that have done, that you've done, and they notice the work that you put in. Like, so don't be discouraged on 2 months, 3 months of progression. Like if you're really chugging at it, if you're really going grinding, giving it your all, like fighting for every rep, fighting for every set, we are the hardest critiques. We are our own worst critiques. We are our own worst enemies as well. So just, give yourself grace. Just give yourself, the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, you're doing good. Keep it up. You have not thrown the towel in. And that's what I've come to is like the gym is my life. It's part of my life. It's not my life fully, but it's got a good chunk. Just because I like being healthy, I like staying healthy, staying fit. I like what I do. What I do is I help people get better, choose healthier lifestyles, and it's amazing just to see the progression they get. And I always tell them like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like you got to take time and consistency to get what you want. And I don't need to sell that to anyone. Like it's just, if you want to see good results, first of all, you need some kind of person, a coach that's gonna help you. If it's a friend who's experienced, or if it's actual getting a trainer or a coach to help you along the way, to get you get your foot in the door, get you rolling a little bit. Then over time, you don't need to keep the trainer, you don't need to keep the coach. But I have my coach still that I keep to this day because some days I need to get an extra push and call him up, text him up, hey, what are you working out this day? I need you here. And my coach pushes me to be the best version of me. He makes sure that I don't sandbag my workouts because I have a tendency of sometimes sandbagging. Definition of sandbagging is basically, you're selling yourself short. And I've realized I've sold myself short a lot. And I kept getting like, I was hard on myself. Like, why am I not seeing results I saw 3 months ago? Oh wait, because I'm sandbagging. And it's a saying. It's a saying he always says to me. He's like, "Don't sandbag. Give it all you got. Push yourself. Push yourself. Push yourself." So in the back of my mind, I have that. Like, don't be a sandbagger. Like, don't sandbag your workouts. Push yourself to complete failure. What I've noticed is that there is a quiet shift that happens when you stop explaining. You stop defending rest. You stop justifying discipline, and you stop apologizing for structure. What you do is you just move. You just go with your daily life, go with your life, and just keep going forward. And what's funny is what I've noticed is that the calmer you are about your choices, the less people actually question them. Isn't it crazy, right? See, like, quiet confidence is different than loud ignorance or being annoying, of just being too cocky and being loud about it. Just, you got to be that one guy or one person that's always got to up the other person. Instead of, the quiet confidence of you stay humble, you know what you're good at, you know what you're good with, and you don't need a flaunt. Like that quiet confidence, oh, it's different. It's better because you know what you're worth, you know what you can do, you know what you're capable of, and you don't need to be loud about it. And that's what I've come to done is like, I'm not trying to flaunt my workouts. I literally, if you were to ever see me in the gym, majority of the time I'm wearing gym shark shorts or joggers and a hoodie, and heads down. I give off an RBF face. I get sometimes. I'm just locked in. Don't want to yap too much, but then other times I'm a D1 yapper, and I'm like, gosh, this was a crappy workout. Hey, but I'm still working out, so it's a win-win. Another thing that what plays a big role, and it's probably the biggest role that's probably the worst for all of us, is social media. You see, like I used to feel like I owed updates, story updates of what I'm doing, post updates of where I've gone. I thought I owed consistency, staying with it. I'm still consistent, but like consistency of like posting 4 times a day. Owing an explanation if I disappear, like, oh, here's this post, I've been gone, X, Y, and Z, and explaining myself. But what I've realized, and I've talked to homies about, and talked to people that are close with me, and other like small influencers or small creators, is that most people aren't tracking you like that. Like, yes, if you're like a well-known influencer, yes, you're famous, maybe different story. But for like a small creators, small people like who are trying to grow their brand, no one's tracking like that. Like they don't really care. Like it's they see a post, oh perfect. Oh, they don't see a post, oh perfect. Like, and even if they are looking at you or if they're tracking you like that, they don't need access to every phase of your life. Like when I see posts, people posting about X, Y, and Z of, well, this is how this went today, and then the next day, oh, this is how this went, and I'm like, is this entertainment or what are we doing? Like, why are you calling out people on your social media? Aren't you supposed to be like someone who's supposed to be uplifting? Because that's what it literally says in your like bio of like uplifting others. But then you're bashing, let's say, example, like dating people, or crashing out on people at the gym that you go to, or just you're in your car and you're just talking mad crap about someone you saw at the grocery store. I'm like, is that really like what you're trying? If your brand is to like be uplifting, be like motivational, inspirational, like why are you bashing others? Is it just for because you'll get likes? You've hacked the algorithm, I guess. So if I say more like crappy stuff, the comments will flow. And if you want to do that, do that. Be like it's just if you're good with that on your conscience, if you're good in the back of your head, you do that. But that's not a good person. That's someone who's just fiending for some kind of like attention. And I'm like, yo, dude, don't do that. Be yourself, be original, and don't just be secondhand embarrassment. Like that's like don't do that. Don't be a fake version of yourself. Like I see some people, cause Arizona, there's some like small creators that have like a good amount of like a good amount of like followers, but I see them in person. I'm like, you act totally different. Like you don't act the same. So why are you showing a fake version of yourself on social media? And then when you go out, when someone runs into you in person, you're mean or you're shy or like you don't exist, or these people, like these random people, don't exist to you, when clearly they've definitely seen your stuff. They definitely know who you are because you post about it every day. Just, if you're tracking everything, you can't be fake in real life. But for me, I don't want to show everything on my platforms. I still need some time for myself, my privacy, my private life of what I do, because I feel like if I start to post more and more about, daily stuff, it's just going to get too consuming of, like, I'm not going to enjoy it anymore. Like, I want to enjoy what I do. I want to have the passion, have the fire in my heart to, like, keep posting and keep doing this, cuz like, it's just, I don't want to post things that are just going to be for, like, not shits and giggles, sorry for my language, but, like, I'm not trying to post everything about my life. Like, you don't need to know everything about my life. Or I don't want people to know everything about my life. Cuz not everything needs to be content. Not everything needs, a lesson as well. So if I post something and I disappear, it's normal. It's perfectly fine. We're all human and it's okay. My throat hurts. It really hurts. But we do live in a world where peace looks suspicious. It's, or what people say, sus. It looks sus. See, if you're calm, people think the worst. The people think you're slacking. If you're quiet, people think you fell off the wagon. But peace usually means you're aligned in a way. You're on the right track. You're actually, not stressing that bad stress, that bad anxiety. You're not stressing, you're actually aligned. You're not scrambling. You're not chasing anything. And you're not reacting to everything. Like, what those some people, like, they react to everything. Like, dude, you're not that important. Chill out. Or they're chasing something that is unrealistic. I'm like, come on, baby steps. Work your way up to that goal. What you are, though, is that you're steady. That's not boring. It's earned, because steadier you are, the more aligned you will be. Because you're not chasing anything. You're not scrambling your head. You're not reacting to everything. Because if you start to react to everything, things start to get in your head of, like, you start second guessing yourself of, if I do this, if I do that, what if I do this, what if I do that? And you start going that spiral. I'm like, calm down, relax, take a deep breath, go away, and come back and focus. And then you'll see that, it clears up. At some point, you do realize you realize people don't need to understand you. And they're not supposed to. Because, see, they're living their lives and you're living yours. And it's hard, because once it's hard to, it's easier said than done. Like, once you accept that, you stop over communicating. You stop proving to them or to people. And you know what happens? The best thing happens. Life gets quieter in the best way. Like, you start to actually have peace with yourself. You actually start to not get anxious, overwhelmed, or just always in your head with anxiety. Once you stop over communicating or stop proving to others or following others, your life actually gets quieter in the best way. What I've noticed lately for myself is that I protect my routine. The better my mind feels, the better I roll. Same wake up times, On the weekdays, I wake up at usually I start work at 6, like 5:30. Brush teeth, put my put my work clothes on, head out the door. Chug some water first, a glass in the morning. Gym time, same time as always. Usually it's like around noon, and then same quiet moments. It's usually around like 9 o'clock. I'm in bed, but I'm also doom scrolling, so that's got to get better. But the routine is there. See, it's not exciting, It's I'll tell you honest. It's grounding. It's boring. It works. Boring is good. Because I think a lot of us aren't chasing excitement anymore. What we're chasing is stability of we've created a routine that is quote unquote boring to other people, but it's not. It's a routine that has built a better mind for myself. And you don't need to explain who you're becoming. You don't need permission to grow slower or differently or quietly. See, if your life feels smaller but clearer, you're actually probably doing something right. It's going to sound weird, but yes, you're doing something right. So if you're in a phase where you're saying less, posting less, explaining less, you're not lost. You're just done performing for others. And to me, that's growth. I appreciate you being here. This is the JP Podcast. I'll catch you in the next one, and much love to all of you.